Hey guys, welcome to a 4-way showdown for the best value for money gaming laptop. And the nominees sorted in ascending order of price is the Dell G5SE, HP Victus RTX 3050, MSI GF65 1660Ti, the Acer Nitro 5 RTX 3050, and the HP Omen 1660Ti. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna list the pros and cons of each laptop and hopefully that'll help you decide which fits your purpose the best. Okay, let's start with the cheapest laptop in this showdown, and that's the Dell G5SE, which has a bit of a cult status, but anyways, at 70k, the Dell G5SE provides incredible value for money. The pros of the laptops are as follows: high refresh rate 120Hz display, AMD Ryzen 5 4600H processor, which is very efficient and fast. As a result, the battery life of the laptop for light office tasks is pretty good at about 5 to 5.5 hours. Good I/O with up to 3 display output options. And lastly, a really good GPU, which is the Radeon RX 5600M with 6GB of GDDR6 VRAM. And it trades blows with the 80W GTX 1660Ti. In fact, the raw power of the 5600M is equal to the 85W 2060 in GPU benchmarks. Now this laptop does have its cons as well. Number 1, the poor thermals. Not only with the CPU but also the GPU gets quite toasty. This chassis is definitely not built to handle a 95W GPU. Now there are ways to drop temps with Ryzen controller, but you can't beat physics, so there will be varying degree in loss of performance depending on your applications. Number 2, manufacturing defects. Yes, there are literal subreddits dedicated to this laptop's issues with motherboard defects, crashes, blue screens, etc. Not all units are affected though, but if you get a defective unit, you may fall into a big hellhole. Lastly, the RAM situation. So the G5SE comes with 8GB of RAM in dual channel, so it has two 4GB sticks. Now if you are into video editing or playing large open world games, 16GB of RAM is definitely needed, and at that point you have to replace both sticks, which might end up costing you if you can't sell them. So that was all about the Dell G5SE. Honestly speaking, I still love this laptop. I covered it so much a year ago. Unfortunately, I could never secure a review unit from Dell. Dell's execution left a lot to be desired, but if you get the foolproof unit, it will be awesome. Alright, next up is the MSI GF65 thing, the laptop that I ultimately chose to recommend to my brother. I have covered this laptop in details on my channel, including undervolting, which is a must, and its gaming performance. A link to those videos are in the I button and in the description given below. Alright, let's start with the pros. Number 1, build and design. Yes, it's subjective, but I really like the design of the GF65. It's all deep black and stealthy, very light and slim for a gaming laptop. At the same time, it feels so very solid due to a lot of copper being used in its thermal solution. Number 2, complete gaming package. The GF65 is the only laptop in the sub 75,000 rupees price bracket that offers the combination of a 144Hz display, a fast 6-core 12-thread processor, which is the Core i5-10500H, a full 80W GTX 1660Ti with 6GB of VRAM, and the 16GB of RAM in dual channel out of the box. This combination is absolutely ideal for gaming and streaming, and the 6GB 1660Ti easily matches the 80+W RTX 3050 and 3050 Ti in most games and also beats them in all situations which require more than 4GB of VRAM. Number 3, extremely customizable power profiles due to the awesome MSI advanced BIOS that allows enabling manual undervolting and precise control over the CPU behavior. Watch my undervolting video to know more about it. Enthusiast users will really appreciate this as they can really fine-tune their system according to their needs. Now for the cons. Number 1, being an Intel machine, it's great for gaming and using Adobe products, but it's really not efficient, at least in stock settings, and so its battery life is really below average when you compare it with the swanky 7nm CPUs from AMD. With all Windows 10 optimizations, you can expect at most 3 to 3.5 hours of battery life doing light office tasks with 60Hz display mode. Number 2, poor thermals in stock settings. I have covered this in my undervolting video where I showed that in stock settings a lot of power is fed into the CPU, which really makes the device very hot, and it's not helped by the fact that this laptop is pretty slim and the back panel is not ideal. But as I mentioned in the pros, the laptop is very customizable, and with proper undervolting and tuning, thermals are no longer an issue at all. So that's all about the MSI GF65, amazing machine at an amazing price, and definitely the ideal gaming machine for enthusiast users with a tight budget. It does have its cons, but with a little effort in tuning, it can be really amazing. Next, I'm going to talk about the HP Victus, Omen and the Acer Nitro 5 together. Now, all of the three laptops have Ryzen processors, but the Victus and the Nitro have the faster Zen 3 Ryzen 5 5600H, which has significantly better single-core performance, and so it is better for gaming as the CPU will be less of a bottleneck when paired with these upper mid-range GPUs. Now let's get to the GPU differences. The Victus and the Nitro have 60 watt plus 15 watt RTX 3050 with 4 GB of VRAM, whereas the Omen has an 80 watt 1660 Ti with 6 GB of VRAM. Now I have compared the 80 watt 1660 Ti with the 80 plus watt RTX 3050 and 3050 Ti, and the results were that the 1660 Ti was in between or better than the two, and much better in situations where it required more than 4 GB of VRAM. Now keep in mind that this setup is slightly different from what I compared. Here we are dealing with 60 watt plus 15 watt dynamic boost 3050 and an 80 watt 1660 Ti. Now I cannot say for sure, but the IPC improvements and the unified cache of 5600H paired with 3050 may outperform the Omen with 4600H and 1660 Ti in every situation which is not VRAM limited. Otherwise, the 1660 Ti will outperform the 3050 obviously when the scenes demand more than 4 GB of VRAM. Other than that, the Nitro has a 144Hz display which both the Victus and the Omen sadly lacks. The Omen and the Victus have larger 70 Wh batteries, and as a result their battery lives are pretty great. The Omen gets around 7.5 hours of battery life, and the Victus would be a little less due to its larger 16.1-inch display. The Nitro although has a smaller 57.5 Wh battery, but its battery life is still very good due to the efficiency of Ryzen. The Nitro has an advantage with regards to storage expansion. It already has 256GB SSD and 1TB 7200 RPM hard drive, which is a much more practical setup for gaming compared to the 512GB SSD that comes with both the Victus and the Omen. The Nitro also has an extra M.2 bay empty. Lastly, regarding the price, the Nitro costs 80k at the moment and the Omen costs 83k at the moment. Let's put aside the Omen for the side because I don't think the Omen is as good as the Nitro and the Victus in 2021. The Victus though costs 70,000 rupees now, which is amazing, but it may go up to 82,000 rupees after the initial launch price is over. So taking all that into account among the three, I prefer the Nitro mainly due to the 144Hz display and the storage configuration. So that's it for this video guys. Hope you were able to decide on which device you're going to invest your hard-earned money into. I tried to compare all of the laptops and in relative terms. So so if you decide to purchase any of these laptops, the links are down in the description, and buying from those links really helps out the channel. So that's it for this video guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.